everybody, welcome to the beginning of my savings, budgeting, and YouTube journey. I am here to represent the hardworking, low-income single parents. On this channel, I am experimenting with different budgeting styles and savings goals, sharing what I learn as I go. So if that sounds interesting to you, please go ahead and click the like button and subscribe to follow my journey. So the budget is done. I do want to fill out my sheets here so that I can look at it that way. So I can look back on this and know what went where when I'm looking for specific things. So that was the first pay period. Here is, nope, that wasn't it. Okay. So for the sinking funds, I only have one sheet for each month. The rest of the sheets I have two for each pay period, 2 or 3. August will have 3. So in July, I have one sinking funds. So there's for the first check and this is for the second check. So I already wrote down what was the balances of what are in these binders that I have. And that's what I found for each account. So, and this is how much I'm going to contribute to each account with this upcoming pay period, okay? And then I'll put in the ending balance at the end of the month. All right, so I want to make sure when I fill out my bank withdrawal form, that was from last pay period, I made more of these withdrawal forms. Let me get a fresh one, because clearly I messed that one up. All right, for some reason I don't have any more B's. I've already stuffed them all. So we're just gonna pretend that this is B. The paycheck is going to be on July 19th. Okay, I'll put this to the side so it doesn't confuse you guys. All right, so, and this bank withdrawal slip is just so that I make sure I take out the correct denominations that I can stuff in my sinking funds and my variable funds. I like to have a mix of the denominations. I have 2 sections here. Variable funds will go in this section to withdraw, and sinking funds will go in this section to withdraw. For the variable funds, let's write this in blue so we can kind of keep with this theme over here. So we're taking a total of $385 out plus the $105 from the extra funds that we got. So let me just put that here. So actually, in the variable funds, we have 385 plus 105. So we have 490 that's going to come from here. So we have 385 in the total here, and then we had 105 that we said that we were going to use as the buffer. We're taking that from there, 465 minus 105, and then there's going to be 360. Okay, let's see. All right, so 360 for sinking funds. So we should have a total of 850. Let's see. We do, yay. Oh my God, I'm so glad that math worked out. So in personal, we would normally take out 25, but because we're putting $15 extra in each account, we are going to put in $40. So 25 plus 15 is 40. And the beginning balance, I already know. I'll just show you quickly so that you know when you do your budget to look back. These are my variable funds. There's nothing left in any of these except for miscellaneous. And this is stuff that has to go back to the bank. So miscellaneous has $35. I'm not expecting to have anything left. But if I do, it'll just go to sinking funds. So the beginning balance for all of these right now is 0, sadly. And it's okay though. It has $35 in it right now, but I'm not gonna budget in that because I expect to use that on Ubers. We are adding, I wanna write this in here so that I don't forget. So we're adding, let's see, 25 and 15, $40. This is so that when I look back at it, I know why I put more in there than usual. And then house usually gets 25, but it's getting the 15 extra. That's also $40. calculate that and make sure it is $490. So and it is. Woohoo! All right, so I already did my denomination, so I'm just gonna fill it in and show you. I put in a lot of ones. What I realized in my midweek check-in, which I'm glad that I do those. If you haven't seen those, go take a look at this last one. I realized I needed more ones because I had to borrow from some envelopes to get the other ones, and it was a mess. So I wanna make sure that each envelope has some ones in it, if possible. All right, so this calculates to $40, etc. So these are the denominations I want to go in each envelope. And then we'll do the same thing here for the sinking funds. Beginning balance for each of these, 153, 150. Let's see. So I know the beginning balance because I have that form here. Okay. So what I did was, and this is how much was in there before the last time I got paid. This line is for how much I put in there. So that's how I know what the balance is if I didn't spend anything. The only thing I spent out of this past week is pet. And so I took that $25 out. So that sinking fund is gone for the moment. All right, so let's do the denomination. This savings challenge. Summer activities is getting 50. September birthday, 75. Okay, the other accounts are getting 0. So let's see what denominations we want. Now, what we want to do is calculate this to make sure it gets to 360. So and it does. Okay. You can tally all of these to find out how much of each denomination we want to get. So I'll do that now. Yay, confetti. I hope that wasn't too confusing. But we have our budget figured out for the upcoming week on the 19th when I get paid. So like I said, if there's any rollover, any money, I'll let you guys know. I'll come back and show you when I do my cash stuffing. I'll let you guys know if there was any rollover from that miscellaneous fund, since it still has some money left in there. I am thinking about moving this all over into a binder. I saw a binder on Amazon that I really want, because this is kind of like a portfolio. And as you can see, you kind of got to take the whole thing apart. I'm kind of skeptical about showing you guys all of the forms that I made because they're not all there yet. Still working on that. I also tried to go in and do a closeout for this pay period, and it just wasn't working out the way that I wanted it to. Where is that? Right here. So I don't know, there's still some homework I need to do on what to put where, and it made it more complicated because I have the 2 bank accounts and I'm using both. When I was just using cash, it was a lot easier to just track my expenses because I do that every time I spend money. I just do that right here. So that's easy to track. But what I want to start doing is putting it here as soon as I pay for something. But I did go through really quickly and just scribble it in there because I was trying to do my closeout and it wasn't working out. I would really like to be able to do the math on all of this, but we'll see. That ends the month for me. No, it doesn't. That ends the budget for this pay period. The month's not over yet. See, this is annoying. I'd rather have a binder. I mean, this was cheap. It was from the dollar store. I saw a cute one on Amazon that I want. I am going to buy my own birthday gift. So that's why I want to make sure I put some funds in there. And that's going to be one of my birthday gifts. I also bought a new budget binder. Yay me. And I was able to afford that because I had some money in Bitcoin. Don't laugh at me, but I had $10 in Bitcoin. So I just cashed that out and I bought a new budget binder, and I'm going to use that for savings challenges. So I'll show you guys that when I get it. Hopefully I get it soon. So that's it for me today. Thank you so much for spending time with me. As always, I appreciate it. I want you to remember that it is about progression and not about perfection. Thanks for watching, everyone. Happy saving. Bye.